Hey everybody, welcome back. If you're new here, hi, I'm Mercury. So this is another part in my New York 101 Pay It Forward series. So right now I'm starting in Hudson Yards, but I'm actually heading over to Times Square. We're gonna do sort of like a Times Square 101 today. Give you sort of an overview of Times Square, what it's about, what you can do there, just what Times Square is all about. So let's first show you how to get there from Hudson Yards. So the easiest way to get to Times Square from Hudson Yards is by subway. And you could do that right over here. It's literally right next to Hudson Yards, 34th Street, and you pick up the 7 train. You also have the option, you could walk down there, it's not too far. You take the bus cross town, or taxi, Uber, or Lyft. Okay, we got 2 trains in the station. The one on the left has people. That one's leaving first. But one stop later, we're here. Through the turnstile. Times Square is just an area that is a larger than life kind of vibe. It has these huge billboards, there's a lot of neon, and it just pulses with energy. Right here is 42nd Street, which is really where Times Square begins. And it is one of the busier sections leading into the area. Here you'll find places like Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. You also have Dave & Buster's, which is both a restaurant and an arcade. And if you want to catch a movie, you have both AMC and Regal Cinemas right here. There are tons of food options in Times Square. You have chain restaurants like the Hard Rock Cafe, you have Bubba Gump, you have one of my personal favorites, which is the Brooklyn Diner. I love the Brooklyn Diner. They got something for everyone, and the food is really tasty. Another thing that's pretty similar to that, that's pretty famous, Junior's. Now Junior's, they have the leg up on dessert. They are famous for their cheesecake. So if you like cheesecake, check out Junior's. It does get very busy. You can order to go, but the cheesecake, that is what they are known for. So over on 43rd, we have the Hard Rock Cafe. There are also several Irish pubs in Times Square. This particular one's been around for quite some time. There are also bakeries and Starbucks. And we have one of my favorites, the Brooklyn Diner. This is what I was mentioning before, and let's go take a look at the menu. One of the things that was my favorite before I had to change my diet was their chicken pot pie. It is something to behold. The other restaurant I was mentioning before is Junior's. Now both the Brooklyn Diner and Junior's have similar type of menus. You'll see they have like salads and burgers and things along those lines, but the thing that makes Junior's stand out is right here, dessert, cheesecake in particular. There are also some more casual, quick type options in Times Square like that beer garden, and there's also the street vendors all over the place. And right here, this is where Good Morning America films. So if you get here bright and early and you come over to this area where the windows are, you may end up seeing yourself on TV in the background. But you can see right through here, you can see that's their studio. Pretty cool, pretty cool. There's also the costume characters of Times Square. Just be aware that they do expect a tip, so if you want a picture with them, you have to tip them. Also, Times Square has these great break dancers, and these huge crowds do form, so just keep an eye on your stuff if you're ever in a tight crowd like that. There are also a lot of hotel options in Times Square, so if you're looking for convenience, especially if you're planning to do Broadway, you have hotels here like the Marriott Marquis. You have the Edison, which is over here. There's also Crown Plaza and Residence Inn, and all the chains, they all have branches in the Times Square area. You can also see that there are Broadway shows up and down these side streets in Times Square. It's not like they're all on one street. They're all sort of intermingled in. So one of my favorite places to get Broadway show tickets, especially if you're not being fussy about what you see and you're open to, a few options, TKTS booth. They have discounted day of shows, and they're posted on these electronic boards behind me. You could also check their website and they'll tell you what's listed each day. So today they have Broadway and off-Broadway things available. So some of the things they have off-Broadway, Blue Man Group, the Gazillion Bubbles show, They have Perfect Crime, Dungeons and Dragons, the 20-sided tavern. That I'm actually really interested in. And then this will change in a moment and we'll see all the Broadway stuff they have available. Okay, there we go. They have And Juliet, Back to the Future, Chicago, Hadestown, Harry Potter, Hell's Kitchen, whole bunch of options. This is the ticket window, so after you queue up in the line, this is where you go to purchase tickets. There is also a lot of shopping to be had in Times Square, but not so much on the deals. You're not going to find a lot of like low cost things in Times Square. In fact, quite the opposite. But you do have a lot of really cool interactive type of shops. You have a lot of flagship stores. So you have like the Disney store, you have the M&M store. So you have these really big sort of over-the-top stores that are very much experiences in and of themselves. They're pretty cool. I have a lot of videos at the Disney store here. I even have one at the M&M store, so I'll throw links up at the end. So you can see as we were walking, there's the Hershey store over here. It's also right across from this Max Brennan, which, you know, although it's a food shop, they do have things that would also make great souvenirs. Then, like I said, the M&M store is over here, and it's 2 floors of M&M Wonders. And if you're looking for any I Love New York or New York City type of souvenirs, there are tons of shops like this that have all of the New York souvenirs, including the Disney store. Now, I love the Disney store, but look, you could even get an I Love New York Mickey Mouse here. How cool is that? There are also other attractions in Times Square, like Rise New York, which is a museum of the history of New York with a ride at the end similar to Soarin' in Disney. There's also the Museum of Broadway, which is an immersive way of getting to learn more about Broadway shows, seeing costumes and sets and other memorabilia. And of course, the one thing that Times Square is most known for, New Year's Eve. New York City is the city for New Year's. And right behind me, right there, that is where the ball drops. The 2024 sign is still there. Also, if you're here leading up to New Year's, so after Christmas, right around Christmas, the numbers last year were at ground level, and I was able to take my picture with that 2024 that's up there right now. They also have this thing where you could write down a wish on confetti, and that confetti is part of the confetti that rains out on everybody in the crowd. So it's a great way to celebrate New Year, even if you don't want to be in the thick of things here in Times Square on New Year. But if you do, that's it. That's where it happens. So that was my overview of Times Square. As you can see, there's a lot to do. There's a lot of different attractions. There's things like Rise New York, Museum of Broadway, actual Broadway shows. You have Madame Tussauds. You have a lot of shops that are experiences in and of themselves. So much going on. It's a very lively area, but it is not where you will find like New Yorkers. New Yorkers don't hang out in Times Square. So it's entertaining, but if you want a real taste of New York, that's the entertainment area for everyone else. It's except for Broadway. We'll go to Broadway too. But I hope that answers some of your questions, gives you a little bit of a glimpse as to what it's like navigating through Times Square. And with that, I'm done for the day. I'll see y'all real soon. And until then, stay inspired by everyone. Take care.